Do you hear that? It's not the sound of your heart. It's not the sound of the world outside. It's the sound of a clock you can't see, ticking inside a room you can't leave. We are all running. We run to catch the bus. We run to meet the deadline. We run to get ahead of people we don't even like. We run because we are terrified that if we stop, we will realize we are already late. But late for what? Welcome back to Silent Truths. Today, we are going to face the greatest criminal in human history, the time thief. We live in a culture that treats slowness like a sin and busyness like a religion. We have become obsessed with saving time, yet we have never felt like we have less of it. Today, we are going to stop the clock. We are going to ask the uncomfortable question, where exactly are you going so fast? Stay with me, because if you don't watch this until the end, you've already let the thief win another hour of your life. Let's reclaim the now. At what age did you decide you were behind? Was it at 20 because you didn't have a plan? Was it at 30 because you weren't settled? Or is it now because you see someone on a screen who is younger, richer, and happier than you? This is the first weapon of the time thief, the social clock. The world gives us a timeline that has nothing to do with reality. It tells us there's an expiration date on our dreams, our beauty, and our success. It creates a fake sense of urgency that forces us to make desperate choices. Desperation is the enemy of wisdom. When you feel like you're running out of time, you stop choosing what is right and start choosing what is fast. You marry the wrong person because you're of age. You take the soul-crushing job because you need to be something. But here is the silent truth. Time is not a racetrack, it's an ocean. There is no behind in an ocean. There is only where you are and the direction you are facing. I'll be happy when... fill in the blank. When I get the promotion, when I lose the weight, when I buy the house, when I find the one. This is the destination trap. We treat our lives like a waiting room. We think the real life is happening somewhere in the future, at a destination we haven't reached yet. So we rush through the present. We treat today like an obstacle we have to overcome to get to tomorrow. But have you noticed something? Every time you reach a destination, the goalpost moves. The happiness lasts for an hour, a day, maybe a week, and then the time thief whispers, "Not yet. You need the next thing." You are spending your life to buy a future that never arrives. You are a traveler who is so focused on the map that you've never looked out the window. The quiet power comes from realizing that there is no destination. The journey is the only thing that is real. If you aren't alive now, you won't be alive then. Why can't you just sit still? Why, when you have 5 minutes of silence, do you reach for your phone? Why, when you are on vacation, are you thinking about work? It's because the time thief has convinced you that rest is guilt. We live in a productivity cult. If we aren't doing something, we feel like we are losing. We have forgotten how to be. This constant state of unfinished business creates a background hum of anxiety in our souls. We feel like we are always leaving something behind. We are always on the way to somewhere else. But true power is the ability to be fully present, to look at a tree and just see a tree, to listen to a person and just hear their voice, to drink a cup of coffee and just taste the coffee. The time thief hates the present moment because in the now, he has no power. He can only live in the regret of the past or the anxiety of the future. When you choose to be here, you become invisible to him. Did you know that your body has a clock that doesn't care about your calendar? You have a heartbeat, a breath, a cycle of sleep and wakefulness that is as old as the stars. This is your biological time, but you are living under the rule of the social clock. The social clock is an invention. It's a box. It says, You must learn by 5, work by 20, succeed by 30, and retire by 60. If you fall outside these lines, you are off track. But look at nature. Does the flower bloom because the clock told it to? Does the tree rush its growth because it's behind the other trees? No, it blooms in its season. You are a biological being, not a machine. When you try to force your biological time to match the social clock, you break. You get burnout. You get sick. You lose your joy. The quiet power we spoke about in the last episode, it starts here by deciding to live at your own pace, not the pace of your boss, not the pace of your social circle, and not the pace of the internet. When you sync your life to your own rhythm, you stop being a servant to the clock, and you start becoming a master of your own life. Have you ever noticed that even when you have nothing to do, you still feel like you're in a rush? You're sitting on the couch, but your mind is already in tomorrow. You're eating dinner, but you're already thinking about the next task. This is what psychologists call hurry sickness. It's an addiction to cortisol. Your brain has learned to love the fight or flight mode. It thinks that if you aren't feeling stressed, you aren't doing enough. You've become addicted to the pressure of the ticking clock. This is how the time thief makes you pay. He makes you believe that peace is a sign of laziness. He tells you that if you slow down, you will disappear. But the truth is the exact opposite. When you are constantly in a rush, you aren't doing anything. You are just reacting. You are living a life of surface-level gestures, never diving deep enough into anything to truly feel it. The time thief is stealing your ability to feel, because to feel, you have to be still. To love, you have to be still. To grow, you have to be still. Slow down. Let your pulse return to a human speed. Why is busy the default answer? How are you? Oh, I'm so busy. We wear our busyness like a badge of honor. It's as if being busy proves that we matter, that we are important. But let's be honest, most of our busyness is just a disguise for a soul that has nothing to say to itself. We fill every minute with doing so we don't have to face being. Think about the last time you were truly alone, with no phone, no music, no plans. How did it feel? For many, it feels like a terror, because when the noise stops, the questions start. Who am I? Am I happy? Am I living the life I want? The time thief is terrified of those questions. He wants you to stay busy. He wants you to keep checking the clock. He wants you to keep trading your existence for activity. You are not a human doing. You are a human being. Stop trading your presence for productivity. You can accomplish everything you need to do without ever losing your center. But you have to stop using busy as an excuse to avoid the truth of your own soul. How do you kill a ghost made of seconds? You don't run faster. You don't buy a better watch. You simply stop. Most of our life is spent in mental time travel. We are either in the past, replaying a conversation we regret, or we are in the future, worrying about a problem that hasn't happened yet. This is why we feel exhausted. We are living 3 different lives at once, but we aren't present for any of them. But the quiet power we've been building, it has a secret weapon, the stillness. Stillness is not about doing nothing. It's about being fully there while you do everything. It's the ability to wash a dish and only think about the water, to walk down the street and only feel your feet on the ground. When you are 100% in the now, time stops being a thief, because the now is the only place where life actually happens. Everything else is just a memory or a fantasy. When you anchor yourself in the present, you become a master of time. You realize that a single minute of true presence is worth more than a year of distracted busyness. Who owns your clock? If your boss, your phone, or your social media feed tells you how fast to move, then you are a slave. The sovereign of seconds is the person who has decided to choose their own speed. Sometimes you will need to move fast, sometimes you will need to be productive, but the difference is that you are choosing it, not being driven by it. Imagine a world where you don't have to do anything, you choose to do it. You don't rush because you're late, you move because you're ready. This is the ultimate flex in the modern world. While everyone else is panting, sweating, and checking their notifications, you are walking at your own pace. You are breathing deeply. You are looking people in the eye. People will look at you and wonder how you get so much done while appearing so calm. The secret is simple. You aren't fighting time anymore. You've made time your partner. You've realized that the more you slow down internally, the more you can accomplish externally. Let's go to the end. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine you are 90 years old. You are sitting in a chair, looking at the sunset. What will you remember? Will you remember the emails you sent? Will you remember the busyness that felt so urgent today? No. You will remember the quiet moments, the way the light hit the trees, the sound of someone you loved laughing, the feeling of peace when you finally stopped running and just were. The time thief wants to rob you of these memories before you even make them. He wants you to trade your eternity for urgency. But today, the game is over. You've faced the void, you've broken the cage, you've met the shadow, you've claimed your quiet power, and now you've stopped the thief. From this moment on, you don't run to a destination, you walk in your truth. You are no longer going somewhere. You have already arrived. Thank you for being part of this journey on Silent Truths. We've traveled deep into the psychology of the soul. We've seen the illusions that keep us small and the truths that make us giants. If you are ready to stop running and start living, subscribe. The journey is far from over, but the direction is now yours. I want to ask you one final thing. What is one thing you are going to do today slowly? Don't answer for me, answer for your soul. Stop the clock. Own the moment. Stay real.